Hello everyone, and let's talk about the latest Star Wars The Old Republic expansion that has been announced. An expansion which for the last few days I've been calling Mysteries of the Sith. That's wrong, it's Legacy of the Sith. Mysteries of the Sith was the expansion to Jedi Knight. That was lots, this is lots. So I spent a few days going, yeah, Mysteries of the Sith sounds good. But then I realised, no, this is Legacy of the Sith. So the big change, I guess, for this expansion is that they are separating the advanced classes from the story. So what that means is if you pick a bounty hunter, for example, let's say you picked a power tech, then you'd be playing the bounty hunter storyline. Whereas now, I guess, if you pick you can pick a power tech and you can play the other tech. They're going to split them into tech and force, so you can't be a Sith warrior power tech, for example. You can't do the Sith warrior storyline because that's for a force user, but you can do the Imperial agent storyline as a power tech, and you can apparently use any weapon that you want. So you can be a power tech with a sniper rifle, you can be a power tech with an assault cannon, you can dual wield. I take it you can dual wield pistols then as a power tech. I mean, how would you punch things? I mean, what I don't get is, like, say you want to use rocket punch, will they just replace it with things like blaster whip or something? I don't get it. So I don't know if they'll change that. What they've said is they're introducing combat styles. Players can now separate their class story from gameplay style for an even greater customization experience. This frees up advanced class options as characters can choose any advanced class within the tech or force playstyle. So yeah, you're not going to be power tech and you're not going to be flamethrowing Barris anytime soon. If that was your dream, sorry. Just going to have to... You can zap them with Force Lightning now, I guess. You can play as a trooper wielding a sniper rifle. Nice. Or a Sith Inquisitor with a lightsaber in each hand. What would be interesting for the Sorcerer is if you could have no lightsaber, because you don't use the lightsaber as a sorcerer or as a sage. Why can't you just have two focuses and just have no lightsaber? Because you don't need it, really. You essentially don't need the lightsaber because, you know, you're a completely force wielding class. None of your abilities use the lightsaber, so why not just have no lightsaber, two focuses? Really, you can secretly use dark side powers while posing as a member of the Jedi Order. I mean, that makes sense in a sense because what is it? Telekinetic throw and Force Lightning. Functionally, they're the same. It's just the animation that's different. So if you want to use Force Lightning as a sage, then yeah, fair enough. There's nothing really radical about that because again, it doesn't affect the functionality. The only thing to question about this is, will there are certain abilities in the game that require certain guns. Like the Commando had a few. You could use an assault rifle, for example, if you were playing a healer Commando, because you never really needed... What was the ability again? I can't remember. Was it charge bolts or something like that you used? It required the assault cannon there instead of because you could play with the assault rifle. You could equip it. There's nothing stopping you equipping it. But there was certain ability. You needed it for DPS, but you didn't need it as a healer. So you would often see healer commandos going around with an assault rifle. Suppose they can go around with sniper rifles now. Being a gunslinger with a sniper rifle, that would make sense. Do you know what I'd really love to see? Being a scoundrel that can dual wield knives. I think that would be kind of cool, because a scoundrel with knives, I mean, there's plenty of knife abilities in the game for the operatives. There's plenty of animation there. Or a vanguard with a shotgun. That would fit the Vanguard's playstyle. Just get rid of Stock Strike and replace it with like a shotgun blast. But that's the thing, how are they going to replace animations? Because surely the animations were tied to the weapon. I mean, Stock Strike could be used with an assault cannon. It was in the game. The animation was there for the Commando. But if you use Stock Strike and you have a pistol, will it be changed to Rocket Punch or Blaster Whip? Because Blaster Whip was the scoundrel used, so it's in the game to hit someone with a pistol. Because functionally it could be the same, but they could just change the animation. Was there a thing? There was a stabbing thing. The snipers had a knife that they could stab with. But yeah, I want to play a scoundrel with two knives. I think that would be cool. Don't want to punch stuff, just want to stab stuff. or an operative with 2 knives. You don't need the gun as an operative, really. So why not an operative with 2 knives? You could be a healer. There could be surgical knives. Perform surgery in the middle of the fight. There you go. So it fits the lore of the characters. There's a lot of questions to be asked there. I'm guessing now that you could argue that the developers are just giving up on game balance. It seems they're just too lazy to do it. Because again, if the class is nerfed or the class isn't really working out too well, what you can do is just change. Apparently, you can change. You can swap between playstyles and gear with a click. So if you're fed up of playing a Vanguard, swap it for a Scoundrel. I'm guessing swap it for a Gunslinger. It's going to have to change the way we gear up, but it kind of makes alts a bit pointless, though, does it not? Because if I want to switch to my Gunslinger from my Vanguard, I just log out the Vanguard, log in the Gunslinger. I've got plenty of level 75s. The game's been around for 10 years. It is the 10th anniversary that this is coming out for. So it's coming out at the end of the year. Was it December 2011 the game launched? So they said in time for the 10th anniversary. Is when it's going to launch. So I'm guessing that, yeah, I mean, it seems a bit pointless, really, because if you've already got the alts, I mean, I guess gear, you're still going to have to change their gear, because set bonuses, you'll still need to change set bonuses over, so it just means you're going to have a lot on one character, and you're still going to need a force alt and a tech alt, maybe, but that's about it now. And SWTOR was built on alts. There wasn't a lot to do. Especially end game, so leveling alts doesn't take very long. So I don't know how it's going to play. So I guess giving up on game balance, because if there's a flavor of the month spec, you're just going to pick the flavor of the month spec, just respec. Vanguard's terrible, play Commando. Commando's terrible, play a Gunslinger. Yeah, there you go. It'd be good if you're a Scoundrel healer and the Commando healer is outperforming it, you could just swap it over. So I guess it works in that kind of sense. But yeah, I think that a lot of questions to be answered with that, and it'd be interesting to see how it plays out. Could be one big disaster. We could end up like 3.0, where we're just class stacking at some point. We're also getting a return to Manan. Manan is going to be story area, and it's going to have so it's going to have separate Republic and Imperial storylines. Completing Manan's story will unlock a new base of operation along with a new daily area. Will it be underwater, though? Will we get underwater quests? I don't know if I want an underwater quest, to be honest with you. I always thought the vehicle stuff was kind of gimmicky on Iocath, and I was never a big fan of it, but yeah. There'll be underwater facilities. Maybe get a submarine mount. There you go. Underwater mounts. Could be a good way to do flying mounts, really. Just do underwater mounts. That would be an interesting one. But yeah, Manan was a cool planet with the Selkath. It was good in KOTOR. I remember getting banished from Manan in Knights of the Old Republic. But yeah, so you're going to do as well the planet of Elom. Don't know how to say it. So it's going to be a discovery of a Sith ruined fortress. Ooh, it was mysteriously erased from all records. And Darth Malgus is in it, because of course Malgus is going to be in it. So yeah, that looks interesting. It's going to have solo experience as well as a flashpoint. Don't know if it's going to be like a story area or a daily area. It doesn't say. There's a new raid as well. You've got the R4 anomaly operation. Doesn't say anything. It's got a cool screenshot though. Really nice screenshot. There's also the new Galactic season, Shadows of the Underworld, it's going to be called. You're getting a Duros gunslinger companion, which is interesting. There's a little character model of him. I might show that on this. But yeah, no, it's another new companion, I guess. So the new season will also cover the host of quality of life improvements. Make some interesting stuff to do. Killing 50 enemies on Nar Shaddaa is not engaging, or completing 4 quests on Nar Shaddaa is just not engaging enough, really, for the season. You should be able to do whatever you want to increase the season level, kind of like Conquest, rather than just being forced to do 1 or 2 activities that you really don't want to do. So I think that would open up the progression a little bit better. I didn't really bother too much with the progression, really. So the most interesting fact is they're going to improve the player experience. It says as we head into our 10th anniversary or 10th year of service for the live service game. It's not a live service. Did someone say no? It is a live service game. I think it's pretty obvious it's a live service game. Taking a deeper look overall player experience, both newcomers and veterans alike. So they're going to again separate the class from the story, which is interesting. So continue to the entire year, though, expect a completely new character creation experience, along with new looks for the character sheet, inventory, and much more. Well, I mean, the inventory was alright in SWTOR. The character sheet, never really had any complaints about the character sheet. Character creation, interesting to see if they'll update the character models. I find the character models in SWTOR, they're kind of doll-like and plasticky. They look like they're made of plastic, is what I would say about them. So hopefully they update them. It'd be nice to see more materials effect, especially with hair. The hair just looks like it's glued on top of them. Glued on top of the characters there. What is that noise outside? That is annoying. Anyway, we'll persevere with this. I think someone's operating a lawnmower by the sounds of it anyway. So yeah, so they're also going to be doing more things throughout the year, including a regular story update, master mode operation, further UI updates. Yeah, the UI could do with a few updates. The UI is okay, it's functional in SWTOR. PvP system revamp. Yay! So we'll all pick the one. Just make a PvP class with all the abilities. Like, there you go. I mean, they're already getting rid of the advanced classes anyway, so why not, make a PvP class? They only have 2 abilities though, an attack and a defensive ability. That's it. That's how you do PvP. No stuns. Get rid of all the stuns. Yeah, just making a super class with no stuns. There's going to be new flashpoints, new locations, tech modernization. What, we're going to bring it into the 21st century. Although technically DirectX 9 was 21st century. It was Windows XP that was introduced with. Yeah, it would be nice to see a more modern API used. A 64-bit client would be so nice. DirectX 11 at least. I mean, Windows 11 comes out this year, and DirectX 9 it was in 2011. DirectX 9 was out of date. In 2021, DirectX 9 is obsolete, really, as a platform. I think enhancing that again would be better support for multi-core CPUs. Again, we're seeing that with more modern APIs now. That is the direction that we're moving in. Certainly consoles have moved in that direction now with 8-core and 16-threaded CPUs. That seems to be the way to go. More cores, more threads, instead of SWTOR's, single thread. It's very single thread heavy, SWTOR. They've said visual improvements as well. So hopefully, I mean, I don't really care about visual improvements. I think the game looks okay from a visual standpoint, but it does need an updated API. I mean, the fact that we are nowhere near getting GPU bound. Modern GPUs are a bit of a waste of time in SWTOR. I've looked at the 3080 Ti, never gets anywhere near maxing out. In fact, I think the performance, I mean, it does give you higher frame rates than the 2070 Super, but the performance feels less stable to me. Like, the frame time spikes a lot on the 3080 Ti, so performance is a bit uneven. It is a new GPU though, so again, maybe driver updates will improve that. But I think I'm not asking for an overhaul of the game engine, just a 64-bit client and maybe DirectX 11 support. Maybe I'm not asking for DX12 or Vulkan or anything like that, but still supporting Windows XP long after it's gone. Windows 11's coming out this year. So we're moving on in the world. And some people have asked, why isn't SWTOR on consoles? The reason why, because it's well out of date. They would need to modernize the tech to bring it to consoles. I don't think it would work on consoles, just because if you look at the amount of abilities you've got, there's not enough mapping for the controller, really. If you look at a lot of console MMOs, I mean, I tried Final Fantasy XIV on console, and I didn't like it with a controller. I just don't like it. It just suits mouse and keyboard so much better. targeting is an issue, especially doing healing. Healing was horrible. You have to scroll down the list of players with the D-pad, which is kind of annoying. You just want to go. WoW has the best one because you can use mouse over macros, because you just mouse over the player's name and then hit the healing ability. That's the best way. Oops, I hit my own microphone there. And also in SWTOR, you just click on the nameplate and then press the buttons to heal. Whereas you have to scroll through. Imagine doing that in a 16-man op. That'd be terrible. It's terrible. Like the time you get to the person you want to get to, the dead. I never liked that anyway, so I don't think it would work on consoles. Again, the tech would need updating for it to work on consoles. But anyway, also the level cap is being increased to 80 from 75. You know how I feel about leveling. I don't think it should be in the game. I think they should just get rid of leveling and just have a campaign mode. I think that would be more friendly to new players, is to have a campaign mode. Do the starter planet and then the capital planet, and then when you get your starship, that's the end of the campaign. And you could fill the starter planet and capital planet just with tutorials. Like by the end of the campaign, you would have all your abilities and you could do whatever content you want, and you would start the Renown XP leveling system from the capital planet. I think that would give you much more options and be much more flexible rather than having to level all the way up to 80 now in the game. Well, it won't take too long. It didn't take too long to get from 70 to 75. Normally it doesn't take that long to level up. Usually we've got a load of XP boosters lying spare, because you get them with class quest rewards now. So you have tons of them lying spare, and you can usually get them within an hour. Levels 70 to 75 took less than an hour. But anyway, that is all for this video. So let me know what you think about Legacy. Legacy of the Sith. I got it right. I had to think about it. I was thinking about Mysteries of the Sith again. That's a really good game. You should go check it out. It's in the Steam sale as well. You can get it. Jedi Knight 2 Dark Forces expansion. Or was it Jedi Dark Forces 2? I can't remember. It's confusing. It's a confusing title for the game. But anyway, that is all for this video. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully the new expansion is good. We'll certainly take a look at it when it comes out later this year. So thank you for joining me for this video, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.